Hello, welcome to the first episode of Learning Horology. Now it's been a while, I think I've started uni about a month ago, so apologies for the delay. I'm starting with something basic first. I mean, I want to do more watches, but this is more clucky. But it's good to learn anyway. I'm quite comfortable with it now, so it's good for the first video to show something I'm pretty decent at. So this is pinning. We've used this on a clock we've made, and we had two flat rectangles, but these are the scrap pieces I've got. Now I started at first with a file. I think it was cut 4 file, and it's not really a necessary step. I was just filing off the sides just so I didn't stab myself multiple times when I was holding it. But now I'm using the 3M paper. I'm using the 40 grit. There's other papers on there, but this is the largest piece I had, so I thought I'd just use that. Now this takes a while. It's best to flatten the pinning side as much as you can because it will make the pinning much more effective and you won't have any play at all. But I did as much as I could until I got fed up and my arm started aching, so you can see there it's a bit silvery in the middle, so I am putting more pressure on the middle. But if it was an important piece of work, I would make sure it was completely flat. With this, it's not really, it's just a demonstration, so I didn't really want to put too much effort into it. So that back bit is awful, but that's not the part I would be pinning, so it's not really a big deal. I just wanted to flatten it a little bit because it is shocking. But you can see by the colour difference, it's okay. It's not the best job, but yeah, it'll do for now. So this piece, I think I tried to saw in half, but I think I gave up. It's not a very good job. I think we made cubes at the start, and they gave us a cylinder of brass, and I've obviously cut it too high, and then thought, oh no, I need to go lower, and then just left it, but chopped it off anyway. So yeah, there's the results of that. Again, I'm too central, but if you put all your fingers round, probably I'll be able to do it better. But again, through demonstration. Now I've got the metal block, tape and steel rod. What am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tape them together. Now, you could do it without taping it together, to be honest, but I'm not that skilled yet. If you tape it together, it just holds them together better and it's just easier to work on. This might be an excessive amount of tape that I put on, but you can never be too safe, you know. It's lagging a bit because I'm in Final Cut. I'm sorry about that, but it'll be on eventually. Now it looks like one of them Werther's originals, which is nice. So, got the Yobo tool and the centre punch. Got the metal block again, but I'm forgetting a step here. A step that you don't really need to do, but it's good for accuracy. But I didn't measure anything, but you know, it's usually good for accuracy. So instead of doing it first, I put a Sharpie mark on just to make sure I'm hitting the right place. It's not central or anything, I just put it there because it felt good. I think I showed the dots from there. There's the dot. So that's what I'm aiming for. So getting the centre punch, and then I'm only tapping it lightly, not like get in, just helping it in a little bit, not, because if you yobbo hit it, you'll probably damage your brass, and that's not what you want to do. So I would say that's a pretty good job, considering the mark. Not bad. So I'm using an Archimedean drill. The drill bit I've got in there is a 1mm because the steel rod is roughly 1mm, so it's the right size just to be able to go through, but not very easily, because you want it to be a bit tough to go in because it needs to be stiff in there. So yeah. So the Archimedean drill takes the absolute mickey. It is such a long process, but it is very accurate, and I enjoy using manual tools. I mean, I doubt you'd be able to, well, I mean, you could use a drill press for this, but it's a bit excessive. But there's a load of swarf, which is all on my clothes now. Nice. But I think I sped up this one quite a bit. Tried to change the camera angle there, you see. But yeah, this process takes a while again. But it's quite nice. It's quite therapeutic, really. But you realise when you've got the two plates, you realise when you've hit the start of the next plate, because it kind of stops and then it's, you know, it thinks about it. And then you get that horrible squeak for a minute and then it pierces. But there we go, we've hit the other side. Now, you can see that I've changed from the metal block to the wooden block, obviously, because I'll destroy my drill bit if you use a metal block. But with the wooden block, it doesn't matter if I go through, which is good. So there's a metal rod. So I'm going to feed it through. So with the hole I made for this one, it was pretty stiff, which is good. I mean, it could have been a bit looser, but it's still a pretty decent job. Now, there it is in both sides. Got the wire cutter, but I don't need that yet. Getting ahead of myself here. No, don't cut it yet, no. Okay, he hasn't cut it yet. So you want to pull it through quite a bit. You want to leave only a little bit on the one side, because that's what you're going to hammer, and then that's what you're going to mushroom. So you don't want too much on there, because if you have so much on there, you either bend it round and then you won't be able to work on the face of the one side. And also, if you leave so much and then you mushroom it, it's going to cover loads of brass. So it's not really very good. So on both sides, I think I've done a pretty even job. It doesn't really matter if they're not perfectly equal. It only matters if you've put too much on either side. So I've gone back to the metal block because I'm going to start whacking it. Again, no hard hitting. It's methodical. You just tap it. So with the hammer in this point, you could either use the ball or you can use a flat edge. Now, if you use ball, you've got to be pretty technical and talented. As you see, I'm using the other side. It's pretty safe to use that side, because if you slip on the ball side and you smack the brass, it's not going to look very good. But this is quite difficult to do when I first did it, because it's really, really easy to damage the brass. But I think I used both sides on this demonstration. But you can see how it's mushrooming a little bit. See the casting? Laughly, jabbly. What a wicked watch. It's incredible. But I'd use the other side there. You can see how it's mushroomed a little bit. I mean, I feel like I left too much on the one side. It's a bit annoying. The one side was basically perfect to my eyes, but this side is a bit too much sticking out. But once the tape is removed, they should be pretty stuck together. Oh, they still move. What an imbecile. got to give it some more love taps, and then it should stick together. More love taps, apparently. There you go. You've got a burger. Yeah, that's how to pin brass. I hope you enjoyed. I'm probably going to do something a bit more interesting next time. But, tack very much.